from our investigation is that we can find the vertex when it's in this standard or general form by taking our negative value divided by 2 times our a value. So looking at this equation, my b value would be 6 and my a value would be 1. So the x value of my vertex, I should say, would be a negative 6 divided by 2 times my a value, which is 1. So negative 6 divided by 2 gives me an x coordinate of negative 3. So my vertex, my x coordinate of that vertex is going to be a negative 3. So to figure out my y value of that vertex, we're simply going to substitute this x value into my function or my equation for x and solve for y. So my y value of my vertex would equal negative 3 squared plus 6 times a negative 3 plus 5. And when you evaluate all that, you end up with a negative 4. So my vertex is negative 4. So now that we have our vertex, remember, we can answer a lot of things on this graph. Our axis of symmetry is going to be x equals negative 3. Our y-intercept, well, we've also learned when this is written in this form, the y-intercept is our c value of our function. So our y-intercept is going to be 0, 5. Our x-intercepts are still found graphically. So I showed you how to do that in the last lesson. So when we find this graphically, our x-intercepts would be negative 1, 0 and negative 5, 0. The domain of our function is always x belongs to real numbers. The range of our function relates to our y value of our vertex, and it also relates to how the graph is opening. Well, our a value is negative, so our a value is positive, so we know this graph is going to open up. Therefore, the graph is going to have a minimum at y equals negative 4. Therefore, my range has to be, all my y values have to be greater than or equal to negative 4. Okay, so really we can answer, once we get that vertex and we know our y-intercept of this, we can answer everything in terms of our characteristics, except for our x-intercepts we still have to find graphically.